I was double-minded and didn't know it. Maybe you are too. Let me explain what I mean. So I am Dion, and um, on one hand, I knew that I was powerful, that I am powerful. I knew I was powerful, but on the other hand, I really struggled to show up powerfully in my senior leadership role in the organization, you know, within that system. I struggled to show up powerfully. The reason I didn't know it is because there was some semblance of powerful expression. So I was an achiever. Um, Relatively speaking, in terms of my family and friends and peers, I was doing really well. I was up there with the best of them. And in many cases, my family and friends looked on uh, at me as a success. And I climbed up the ladder with gusto and, pursued roles and got roles and really looked the part. But there was something else going on the inside. On the inside, I secretly knew, first of all, unconsciously, and then more and more consciously, began to realize um, that there was more for me to be, more for me to be, more for me to do, more for me to say, more for me to create and experience and express and make happen as a woman and a leader and a change maker, that I wasn't bringing myself fully. I was not fully expressed as a powerful leader. So I was in the right places, had the right titles, but wasn't really using my voice and making the right kind of impact, the kind of impact that my soul longed for, the kind of impact that I saw was needed, that I longed to see, that I wanted to be part of making happen. There's this gap. There was a gap. And this gap, let me see. There was a gap between who I was showing up as and who I have the potential to show up as in senior leadership. And I became conscious of it and I became unsatisfied with it, unsatisfied with my expression, my self-expression. So this waking up to the realization that there was more for me to be was the start of things, was the start of a really big turning point. I've been on this really long journey of self-discovery, self-development, leader development, developing my inner leader, my authentic leader identity, finding out who I really am as a powerful leader, and learning how to show up in this world, in the system, in my industry as her, being her here and being her now. And I've learned a lot about that gap. I realize that I'm not the only one that's experienced it, and that the people that come to me are experiencing it too. And what I'm seeing from my journey and the journey that I help other women to go on is that this um, this gap is rooted in a double-mindedness, that there's disclarity around who we think we are as powerful, authorized, commanding, confident leaders. That on one level of consciousness, we know we're those things, but there is another level of consciousness that undermines that knowledge. And that so there's this double-mindedness within us. And that's really what I've become really powerful and proficient at handle or dismantling that double-mindedness. So now I help my clients to become single-minded about who they are as powerful, influential women, about why they're here, what they're here to bring, what their difference is, what they want, what their desire to lead and to create is. We give voice to it, we put words to it, we make it a real thing so that there's no longer any double-mindedness, just clarity and flat-footed, facing forward readiness. Sound good to you? I know the lighting's really whack. I've just moved house and nothing's set up, but this has just come to me and I wanted to share it with you. So let me know because in December I still have some spaces left to coach for 1 month around this clarity of vision about who you are and what you're here to bring and what your next move will be in January 2025. So if you're interested, drop me a DM and let me know, and we can talk about you grabbing one of those spaces for you because it is time to handle this double-mindedness. It is time to get really singularly clear about who you are, what you're here to do, and what your next move is about to be. All right? See you later.